common course for an Australian, and that's that quick bite back, because I think part of it is Harbhajan trying to then settle things down yesterday afternoon and apologise and realise he overstepped the mark.
Well, you saw that in his face. I think when he called Symonds over, he'd already said what he'd said, and he was now trying to, settle it down. He was very, regretful for saying it. So that's why I thought he straight away indicated in that vision that, I've overstepped the mark, and I've used that word that we said and I said that I'll use again, because I believe there was some sort of meeting between the Australians, or Ricky Ponting and Harbhajan Singh, that the incident that happened in India would not happen again, and it's been over. And that's why, if you like, Ricky Ponting's might come out as seeming a stickler. It's because there was almost an unwritten agreement between the two sides, and, we've got to have a line in the sand. We can't have racial comments being thrown around in sledging. Australia...
You lose it now and again, Slats. I mean, it happened to you in India. I mean, you lost it in India. Remember that? Was it some question of the catch? I mean, you can lose it now and again.
Yeah, but there was a lot of things going on in my life off the field that made that amp up on the field.
You
so
could say the same about Harbhajan. I mean, who knows what's going on in his life? I mean,
but I didn't
wrong.
say a racial comment to anyone in that.
No, I'm sure you didn't. I'm not drawing a direct comparison. I'm just saying that these things do happen. On the spur of the moment when there's a lot of tension around, I mean, I still want you to answer the question though about dobbing the opposition in. There's this great Aussie saying about things that happen in the middle stay on the middle. I mean, can't Ricky Ponting, for example, resolve this with Anil Kumble and guys like Sachin Tendulkar, where you could nail Harbhajan if he needs to be nailed, sit him down and nail him.
Yeah, let's come back, and we've got to tell you, there's the action out in the middle of the Sydney Cricket Ground. Day 3, Harbhajan Singh, Andrew Symonds, Sachin Tendulkar, Ricky Ponting, the umpires talking to Harbhajan Singh. So there was plenty of chat. Some of it wasn't overly nice, and what we can tell you is the hearing that we thought was going to be after play today to hear the charge against Harbhajan Singh will now be after the finish of this test match. So that's been delayed already, which probably gives a fair indication that this is getting a touch curly, and lots of different people are getting involved, and that was at the request of Indian management. That's an interesting development that we've just heard of. Good point you made prior to going to the break, Greggy, that the Aussies usually leave things on the park, but it was Ricky Ponting that actually initiated this situation after what went on in the centre of the SCG.
Well, no, I'm just raising the point. The Aussies over the years have all said what's on the ground stays on the ground. Now, I know there's been a bit of publicity about this whole question of racism, and it needs to be addressed. The ICC have taken a strong stance on it, and Ricky chose to go down that course. I just want to hear what Michael has to say about that.
Yeah, well, what I'll say is that 99% of on-field matters stay on the field, and that's the way the Australians play it. That's the way it was when I was playing. And, all this thing about sledging and gamesmanship, whatever you want to call it, it does happen. It's called Test cricket for a reason. But it's both ways. The Australians cop it as well, and most of it stays out there. And it doesn't happen as much as people think or are led to believe happens out there. But in this situation, we've got to remember it's a flow-on effect from the series in India a couple of months ago. It's happened again out in the middle, and Ricky Ponting as captain obviously feels that he's genuinely overstepped the line. And if he didn't feel that, I'm sure it would have been left in the middle.
Is it a flow-on step? It actually is a flow-on from Australia. It's not just a flow-on from India. I mean, the South Africans had a serious problem with Australian crowds in Perth. So let's just go back.
But it never walked out into the middle. There was never a confrontation in the middle where there was an Australian saying to a South African, throwing a
No,
racial line.
now, we crowds.
Yeah, that's right, and that's awful, and that's not condoned anywhere in the world.
That's where it started, and then there was no report made. Smith never went and made an official report. He involved his own board, and his board then came out and said, "Look, this is not good enough. We've got to take it from there."
Yeah, but the players got on with it. But the Australians and Andrew Symonds in particular was putting up with that for three one-day games from the crowd. This chance of monkey this, monkey that. He got on with the job. He won player of the series. They were calling him that probably because he was doing so well.
But
it was the officials over there that brought it to the fore and made it a big thing. Andrew Symonds and the Australian cricket team got on with the job when it was just the crowd saying it.
And I think,
when
in
it crept to the field, it
Australian,
became a more serious issue.
The Australian authorities, through the South African authorities approaching them, have put put it to rest from a point of view of that they've acknowledged it, and they've also put rules in place to make sure that those crowds don't get involved, as they did in India back in October. And we have some footage of those crowds in Mumbai back in October, courtesy of Fox Sports, and let's have a look at that behaviour now.
At 3 wickets down, it was Andrew Symonds' turn to head to the middle. Following racial taunts in the last match, the Mumbai crowd were waiting for the big Queenslander.
The booze going out for Symonds as he comes onto the disgrace.
In the Mumbai crowd, the Symonds chants came out again. When you're just one person amongst tens of thousands, you can't actually address that. All you can do is stand up and try to stop people doing it, but there's no possible way that I can deal with that.
Just unnecessary, and I just hope it doesn't sort of unravel into anything, because we're here to watch a cricket match, nothing else.
It was just not a nice place to be.
With that abusive reception still ringing in his ears, Symonds had to face up to his first ball.
It's going to be a test for Andrew Symonds. He got dropped when he was only on 2 in the last game where he got 100. So there is that opportunity early on. And taken!
I found the Mumbai crowd probably the most unruly, bad-behaved, nasty crowd that I've come across. I mean, everything from the chants towards Andrew Symonds, but also just sticking their finger up, saying Aussies suck. I mean, they just lost the plot completely, just basically telling me where to go.
I've known Gus for a long time, and he's always spoken his mind, no matter what. Well, here, upset with the monkey chants, he decided to fight fire with fire.
What is wrong with you? Do you understand?
And then there's people like trying to hit him back, trying to talk to him, make him, feel more uncomfortable. So we were speaking about it. Even he was getting angry at times and trying to, get back to them as an Aussie.
I don't care. Go away.
And that really took up a little bit of turn sometimes. People were getting a little bit more, they were creating more trouble because Gus was replying back to them at times.
Excuse me, other way. No, let me talk to you. Oi, you come here. Oi, come here. No, I'll talk to you. Oi, you talk to me with a bit of sanity. Come here, please. I'll talk to you nicely. Of course. Come here. You come to me and I'll talk to you nicely. Come here.
We have been trying to explain this, I know. We have been trying to do this.
Then the commando, wielding an AK-47, tried to defuse the situation by attempting to move Gus away.
You sit there.
I can't sit there. These are my seats. This is where I want to sit. This is my friends.
Let him be on. Let him go. That's how we have done it. Okay, you are great. I'm from Mumbai. I'm also from Mumbai, so it doesn't happen every time in Mumbai.
Don't have an attitude.
No, there's no attitude.
Now, whether it was the pressure of a long, hard tour of India or just the defensive reaction to the Symonds monkey chants, Gus had lost it.
I have.
And right in front of the Reverend.
I'm sorry about that, Reverend.
No. No, you have given very good reply. It's good, fantastic.
Yes, thanks to Foxtel there, and that will be screening Monday night on Fox 8 for those interested in watching the whole of that documentary. Fellas, wish we had more time because we're having a ripping chat. We'll find some more time somewhere else, but thanks to Michael Slater and Tony Gregg for joining us on the Cricket Show. We'll take a break from the Sydney Cricket Ground.